What's up, everyone? It's Adam from You Daddy Daddy. I'm here with my friend Chase from Colorado. Say what's up.
What up, guys?
All right, we're going to talk about our week 1 reactions and our week 2 game picks coming right up. Chase, what's your number 1 takeaway from last week?
All right, number 1 takeaway is that the Cowboys need to pay Dak. That man put on a show against the Giants. They may not have the best defense in the league, but he still put the moves on.
So he had how many yards passing? Like 300, I think?
405, I believe. 4 touchdowns.
4 touchdown passes. I had Amari Cooper in fantasy. Very hyped about that one. That was literally a perfect pass down the sideline. Yeah, Dak Prescott the Cowboys look like the real deal. I picked the Eagles ahead of week 1 to win the division. I'm going to stand by that. Even though the Eagles didn't really have that impressive of a showing, I think they were down 17 at halftime against the Redskins. Is that right?
Yeah, it was like 17-0. Like, that was crazy.
Yeah, so that would have been bad if the Eagles dropped that game. But so this is my number 1 takeaway from week 1. I'm just going to dive right into it. I'm going to go Colts at Chargers. Now you're probably thinking, wait a second, Chargers won in overtime. Like, what's the significance of that game? Jacoby Brissett against the Chargers. Who would have thought that game would have went to overtime? They actually had a chance. And T.Y. Hilton looked pretty good. What do you think?
I totally agree with you. I mean, Chargers were favored by 7 points, something like that. That's crazy. Jacoby Brissett, when he was on the Pats, they had to minimize the offense for him. He only got 1 touchdown with us. It was like a rushing touchdown against the Texans. That game we won 17-0 based on the defense. But that guy, he has talent. You know what I mean? They just got Paris Campbell to go match up with T.Y. Hilton. Like, the Colts aren't bad. I mean, they're not tanking by any mean. He's obviously not as good as Andrew Luck, but that's not a bad backup to have right there.
Yeah, I feel like what people forget is, like, when Andrew Luck left, like, the Colts had everything set up for him. That offensive line, tremendous increase in, like, potential on the offensive line. They have Marlon Mack in the backfield. He was a fantasy stud. I didn't take him this year. I thought the run game wouldn't be a thing because of Jacoby Brissett, but he had quite an outing in week 1. He had a lot of fantasy points. He had 20 plus, I think. And you have T.Y. Hilton obviously on the outside. So it was set up for Andrew Luck and his success. He had great success last year. But I feel like if Jacoby Brissett settles in, learns the playbook a little bit more, gets comfortable in that system, I feel like he'll be pretty good. I wouldn't be surprised if they go like 8-8. What do you think? 8-8?
I can totally see 8-8, 9-7, something like that. Maybe a wild card depending on how well they play. Like I said last week, I said by week 5, Jacoby Brissett could be legit. He showed signs of him. He might be already legit. You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
The Colts couldn't be happier with their backup situation since Andrew Luck's been gone.
Okay, so what's you have a second takeaway, right? What's your second takeaway?
Second takeaway is that the Bears still will win the NFC North, even though the Vikings just showed up. Their new offense, their run-first offense, pretty lights out. Packers, that was a fluke. Trubisky, that was absurd. I'm standing by my pick. The Bears' defense is going to just keep getting better and better. Offense is going to keep getting better and better. Dave Montgomery, first time in the league. He
looks pretty good.
Yeah, he didn't look bad. He wasn't great. I had him fantasy 4 points. Pretty disappointed about that. But like Zeke, first time he played in NFL, like nothing, something under 60 yards. I think it was less than 3.5 yards a carry. It's just growing pains. You know what I mean? Bigger dudes up front than in college. Just give that team time. Give Matt Nagy some time to catch his breath from everything. They made a field goal, which is very good. So yeah, I'm sticking with it. Bears still gonna win NFC North.
I mean, that game was kind of I did not expect that whatsoever. I knew the Bears defense would hold Rodgers, but if you were to tell me that the Bears defense will hold Rodgers to 10 points, and I would think, oh, they definitely won. Like, I did not expect the Bears offense to freaking really just not show up whatsoever. I saw Tariq Cohen line up as receiver a lot in the slot. I don't know what that was about. Good player. I just really hope they gave Montgomery the ball more. I mean, when he had the ball, he did good things with it. Kind of the same thing with Devin Singletary in Buffalo. When he touched the ball late, that's how they came back in that game. I feel like the Bears, it's like, I would have never guessed the Bears offense would be this bad. I thought Trubisky just didn't show up. I felt bad for him. He just couldn't hit his throws, and he just looked a little bit rattled there. Give credit to the Packers defense for showing up for sure.
Unbelievable. 3 points with a new D coordinator, new coach. That's unbelievable. Great way to start.
I mean, that's a huge game. Week 1 on the road against a divisional rival, that's huge. This is the biggest takeaway in the entire week 1. Here we go. Patriots Steelers, that was an absolute butt kicking. What do you think about that game?
I mean, yeah, I said this last week too. I think this is the most talented Patriots roster since 2014 on paper. Defense lights out without Kyle Van Noy still. You know, like, they're just gonna keep getting better. You know, we got so many players that just like, that team is just so talented.
You know what I didn't realize? I realized that Kyle Van Noy last year led the Patriots in tackles.
Yeah.
And no Kyle Van Noy on Sunday night, and we looked like we didn't even need him. Like, our defense looked crazy. I'm really happy. Our secondary, the real deal. I know Jason McCourty got torched on that one deep ball at James Washington, but Belichick made a great adjustment, put in Jonathan Jones, covered James Washington. Juju against Stephon Gilmore, I mean, he made that one big catch. I think it was 3rd and 15. He made that one big catch, but Gilmore held him in check. They really didn't have any answers to our secondary.
Absolutely
our pass rush was consistent. I don't think we got any sacks, but
we got one. I mean, we got the strip sack.
That was in the red zone, yeah. So we're going to obviously transition to this because we have to talk about it. Antonio Brown, I did not expect that. I'm pleasantly surprised. I think this system's going to kind of like hold him down, make him transform to the player he could be. I feel like if he just shuts up, gets off social media, and just goes to work, he has an unbelievable chance of winning a Super Bowl.
Totally.
Do you think it's going to work out?
I don't see how it doesn't work out. I mean, look at the people Bill Belichick's brought in. And fixed him up. You got Josh Gordon. Now he's finally in a straight line after a year. You know, drafting Aaron Hernandez. You know, like, I'm not going to go too much on that topic, but obviously there's issues with Hernandez. You know, like, Belichick makes sure everyone knows that you are not any better than anyone else on the team. Like, he still yells at Brady, and Brady is hands down the best football player ever to play the game. You know what I mean? I was just like watching Red Zone, and one of the guys commented, is like, yeah, the thing about the Patriots is that you can come in thinking you're hot stuff, and then you see Coach Belichick yell at Brady, and then you're like, well, you know, if he's getting yelled at, what does that mean for me?
It's true. See, my personal opinion, I think AB wanted out of Oakland from the very beginning, just because, think of it this way, okay, you're Antonio Brown, you're still in your prime, you have a couple of years left, Obviously top 3 receiver, like, you can't even argue against that. He's definitely a top 3 receiver. When he's playing, when he's not a diva, he's one of the best. And when you're in Oakland, right, he didn't have a choice. He was traded for a 3rd and a 5th. And the Patriots actually could have gotten him if they traded a 1st-round pick. But the Steelers were like, nope, I'm not trading him obviously to the Patriots. But think of, like, the motivation to play there. Yes, you have your money. You have your guaranteed money. But if he plays, like, they're not winning a Super Bowl. If he doesn't play, obviously they're not going to win the Super Bowl. There's not a lot of motivation to be there and work hard and play, especially when you have Derek Carr. Obviously, a lot of question marks there. He looked great, though, Monday night. He looked phenomenal. Great. Yeah, but just like, you know, when you're in that locker room that everyone needs you. Like, you need to be there. In New England, if he's there or not, like, we don't really need him. That's the thing. So, late stages of your career, still in your prime, obviously he wants a Super Bowl. He was in that Super Bowl when they lost to the Packers. I think that was 2012, 2011. But yeah, there's a huge difference between listening to John Gruden and Derek Carr versus Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
Totally.
I feel like the respect level is just off the charts. Like, recently, AB hasn't even been on, like, Instagram. He hasn't been on social media. He's kept his mouth shut. There is that picture, though, with Brady and Belichick, or Brady and AB. I thought that was awesome. Yep. But I feel like the Patriots organization is going to turn his reputation around. I really hope. I hope he just keeps his mouth shut, works hard, and just lines up next to Josh Gordon and Edelman in the slot. That would be exciting. And imagine if Gronk comes back week 14, 15. That would be...
Right now, Josh Gordon's replacing Gronk. Like, that
True.
was, big body guy. We're getting N'Keal Harry back week 9. You know, we still got Jacoby Myers with that 22-yard reception. Yeah, this
True.
Like I'd rather have Gronk for another year, personally.
I think he'll come back. It's honestly he's tempted to. Like, if obviously he knows the news, he sees it, he's watching the games. He probably wants to go back and play football. I mean, I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
Avoid all those regular season games early on and just come back like playoff time when Brady needs you. It's hard to reject that phone call if he ever calls and asks for him to play.
Totally.
For our next segment, we're going to get into our Week 2 game picks, our predictions. Now, our records are going to be posted up right now. I had a 10-5-1 record. Obviously, I did not predict the tie with the Lions and the Cardinals. Chase, you went 9-6-1, and Mike, who is not here today, went 9-6-1 as well. We had a couple of bold picks. I picked the Jaguars. Chase, do you remember any of your bold picks? Any picks that were bold from last week?
Yeah, I do remember.
You picked the Jags with me.
Picked the Jags too. if Foles didn't get hurt, they were winning that game. I'm sorry.
I had the same feeling after that deep touchdown to Chark, dude. I thought it was going to get interesting because their defense was definitely going to show up if Nick Foles was still there, putting the pressure on. But not a lot of motivation once he goes down. It's back to square one with Blake Bortles last season.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew wasn't bad. I'll tell you that right now. When he came to see you last year, he put on a show. I'll tell you that.
He looked pretty good. I'm not going to lie. He looked pretty good. I was happy for him. I was excited. I wanted to watch that game, but I was stuck with Bills and Jets on Channel 4, so not a lot of flexibility
Good
there.
Game right there.
Okay, so Bucs.
I didn't pick the Jets, but I picked the Jets. But I told you Bills are gonna be sneaky this year. All right,
True.
My upset of the week was obviously Houston at New Orleans. I was 2 seconds away from being correct. Fuck you, Will Lutz. I hope you're watching this, you piece of shit. Like, first off, you said it earlier, Adam. Who the fuck plays prevent defense when your opponent needs 8 yards and they got a timeout? Get up on those men and make them throw it deep.
I don't understand that whatsoever. I know earlier in the game it was a 3rd and long situation. They played like close, tight man-to-man coverage. They were down at the line of scrimmage, and he beat him over the top to Ted Ginn. But like that's a completely different situation. That's not an excuse to have 3 safeties play at like the 15-yard line when all they need is to get in a field goal range.
The timeout there. You back when you have a speedster on your team. You always need at least one.
Dude, 8 seconds is plenty of time, especially when you have a timeout. You could literally sit in the pocket for like 5 seconds and then deliver a ball. Like I don't understand that decision whatsoever. So yeah, you were close to getting that game correct. I felt bad for Watson. I really want him to win that game.
Yeah.
He had literally no help. He was sacked 6 times. I know Hopkins looked pretty good.
Line, dude, Jesus Christ, they just got Larry Tunsil. He got torched on multiple plays.
Yeah, I forgot they even got him. He literally got torched. So, first prediction of the week, Bucs Panthers. This is the Thursday night game. This is in Carolina. So, who are you taking, Chase?
Oh, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. I'm going with Carolina. You kidding me? Jameis Winston is certified trash now. He is eating no more dubs anytime soon. Like, he's gonna get caught at the end of this year unless they win at least 9 games. And he's running out of time. You got all these good rookie quarterbacks coming up this year and the next couple of years. This man, no, Tampa's got nothing for them. Carolina's winning. They almost beat the Rams at home. No way the Panthers don't win this one.
Didn't Winston last week throw 2 pick sixes? Is that true? I didn't see the game.
I know he got 1. I know Sherman caught 1. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw 2. Couldn't tell you.
I think he threw 2. I heard reports that he threw 2 and Garoppolo threw 1. This week, I'm taking the Panthers. I feel like the Panthers looked really good against the Rams. Their defense played exceptional through 3 quarters. I feel like people forget that. I love Luke Kuechly. My opinion, he's the best linebacker in football. I know Bobby Wagner.
Better than Wagner. I think he's better than Wagner, too.
99 rating for Wagner and Madden. Not a fan of that. No. Same thing with Hopkins. Not a fan of that. But I'm taking the Panthers. Not really much to talk about. The next game's not much to talk about. Ravens, Cardinals. We got to say Mike's real
quick. Mike wanted to make it clear that the Panthers will blow them out by 35 and hold the Bucs to under 10.
Okay, so Mike likes the Panthers. No surprise. Huge Panthers guy. Cardinals, Ravens at Baltimore. I'm taking the Ravens. I feel like you can't not take the Ravens after they put up 59. I know Miami, they're hopeless at this point. People want out of there. Reports that they're like asking their agents to get traded and stuff. But I mean, I'm taking the Ravens. I feel like they're not going to score 59, but they're going to put up some points. I like Lamar Jackson. I was pleasantly surprised at how he performed week 1. I don't think anyone expected that. Who do you like, Chase? I'm assuming it's the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm taking the Ravens too. The fact that Stafford low-key went off against the Arizona Cardinals, I'm not a huge Stafford guy at all. I don't really see anything. Kyler Murray, maybe he got the worst 3 quarters of his career out of the way right now, and he could come out and light it up. But this new Ravens offense, like I said, they got a new running back. They got the 2 rookie wide receivers. Marquise Brown went off, picked him up in all my fantasy leagues. No way Baltimore doesn't win this one.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Cowboys, Redskins. This could be sneaky. I know the Cowboys looked exceptional week 1. They looked like the real deal. They looked like a real playoff contender, a Super Bowl contender in my opinion. Just from week 1, just watching them. I'm taking the Cowboys. I'm not going to bet against them. But the Redskins, I mean, they blanked out the Eagles in the first half of the game. I mean, they showed up through like 30 minutes. Then they started to collapse and they started getting shut down. I'm taking the Cowboys. I love Amari Cooper. He's my boy. Amari Cooper, Zeke, Dak Prescott. He's not worth $40 million. I'm sorry. That's not even close. I would hesitate to pay him like $15 to $20 million. Actually, $20 million. Let's be nice. $20 million. depending on the market, but I feel like I'm taking the Cowboys. What do you think? Cowboys?
Yeah, me and Mike both taking the Cowboys. I am, I love myself, the 49ers, second favorite team. Cowboys are definitely my first A team. They're something special right now. Everyone's on a contract year there. Dak and Jason Garrett. This is going to be a very close game. I'll tell you that right now. Watching it at home, I've never really seen it been an issue for teams going in there and tearing it up. But yeah, Dallas is going to win this one, I think.
Okay, Colts Titans divisional game. Obviously, it would be more exciting if Andrew Luck were playing. But Jacoby Brissett, we talked about it earlier. Don't sleep on him. The man can play. I'm taking. I gotta take the Titans. Just after what I saw them do against Baker Mayfield, against the Browns, I mean, it's hard not to take the Titans. Kevin Byard, sneaky good safety, especially in man coverage. He was on Njoku in game 1. I really like that secondary. Malcolm Butler, Logan Ryan. A lot of Patriots on that team. They're like the Patriots 1B over there. Obviously not as good, but you can tell that the similar mindset, similar system that they're starting to get into the works here. Who do you like?
Yeah, me and Mike again both took Titans. Mike loves himself the Titans, and that defense, that was something else they put up against Baker. I'm going to come out here and say they're going to come back down to earth eventually, and they're going to finish no better than 9-7, 10-6. But it's just I can't really take a Jacoby Brissett-led Indianapolis team yet over if the fact that they got A.J. Brown to help out Corey Davis, get him some extra room. And then if Mariota's legit, the Titans could be special because he was legit last week. It all comes down to that.
Okay, Seahawks-Steelers. This is a really good game. I feel like the Steelers on primetime television, completely embarrassed. I would be humiliated if I was Big Ben or if I was in that locker room. I feel like they're going to bounce back. There's no way they're going to get blown out twice. And obviously the Seahawks on the road, I feel like they're a decent road team. They have some key pieces. I'm not really wowed by Seattle's offense. I mean, Russell Wilson, special player. Chris Carson, Tyler Lockett, DK. I don't really see any big names there that can really take over a game. I'm going to go Steelers. I just don't think with a great coach, Hall of Fame quarterback, you lose back-to-back games. They definitely won't be blown out like they were against New England. I'm taking the Steelers. And I feel like James Conner is going to have a bounce-back game, especially because I have him in fantasy. I need him to do something. But I feel like they'll do well. Who do you like, Chase?
Mike picked the Steelers. I am picking the Seahawks. Personally,
ooh, okay.
Yeah, my thing is the Steelers, they just have nothing on. They have James Conner, very good running back. I wouldn't say he's elite. I say he's like a tier 1A kind of guy.
Yep, 100%.
The Seahawks, you're right. Their offense is nothing special. DK did go off, and he's a big guy. That's what Josh Gordon just did the Steelers last week. I'm telling you right now, Seattle, they always have a great defense. If they can get 2+ sacks on Big Ben, that's going to be really hard for him. To let alone they got no one besides Juju. They got Dante Moncrief who dropped 7 balls. Like, you got to be kidding me.
They're a good it was good defense, and McCourty, Chung, they were all over him.
Oh,
to be
don't
honest.
get me wrong. I can completely
contested,
understand.
but yeah, you got to bring one of them in.
We're talking about Legion of Boom 2 is coming up right now with Jadeveon Clowney back there. You know what I mean? Like,
Hear me out for a second. Clowney, Wagner, KJ Wright, excellent linebacking core.
Totally.
Two great outside linebackers. Obviously, you have Bobby Wagner in the middle. Don't get me wrong, the front seven it's good, but I'm just not sold yet. Obviously, they're not even close to the Legion of Boom.
I want to make it clear. I'm not saying they are the Legion of Boom again.
Yeah.
But there something's brewing up there again. You know what I mean?
No, don't. I agree. Next game, Bills at Giants. This is wow. What a great game here. I'm taking. I feel like when you watch Josh Allen, he drops back, he tucks the ball, and he scrambles and dives forward every play. I feel like it could be 3rd and 100. He'll still do that.
Like Cam Newton.
True. I mean, I like how he rallied back. I feel like they should get Devin Singletary the ball a lot more. I feel like he's very talented. There's a reason why they got rid of LaShawn McCoy. I'm taking the Giants. I'm taking the Giants just because Saquon Barkley, generational talent. He's unbelievable. I feel like they stopped giving him the ball against the Cowboys, and the reason why is because they were behind by, I think it was like 3 possessions. You can't really get the run game going when you're down by multiple possessions. I'm taking the Giants. It's at home. I like Eli not that much. I mean, I feel like He's smarter with the ball. He won't turn the ball over. I'm not confident in the Bills where, yes, you came back late against the Jets, but you also turned the ball over like 5 times. You're not going to be able to win football games by turning the ball over multiple times. I'm taking the Giants. Who do you like?
Yeah, Mike and I both took Giants. I totally agree. Saquon is good enough to carry that team and take a lot of pressure off Eli. Eli had a great game himself. No interceptions, 300-something yards, a touchdown. The more touchdowns going to come, once he gets used to this lacking receiving core. I mean, I think it's really hard to not pick the Bills because they are the most inconsistent team in this league. But I think the Giants at home, something to cheer for. Let's see it. I think the Giants are going to win.
Bills defense that's pretty good defense. I'm not going to lie.
So Sean McDermott is really good when it comes to defense. Personally.
Eli against that Bills defense, I'm not changing my mind, but I'm very close to next game. 49ers.
Game hardest game. That's the hardest game for me to pick.
Yeah, 49ers Bengals. It's in Cincinnati. Joe Mixon, what a disappointment that guy is, especially for fantasy owners. Did nothing and he got hurt. Yep. Bengals, they always come tumbling down, but it wouldn't be a Bengals team if they didn't go 5-0 and then come crumbling down. I'm taking the Bengals. What do you like?
Mike took Cincinnati. I am sticking with San Francisco. That team, Jimmy looked like a little boy in the first half, throwing passes that were just not clean spirals at all. But I think they can. Go into Cincinnati and take the win. Front seven, I know. You know how I feel about that front seven. That defense was still really good. They lost Quan Alexander 10 minutes into the game. I think they beat Cincinnati.
So you're taking the 49ers. You know what? I'm changing my pick. I'm going 49ers. Changing my pick. The reason why is because when you look at Cincinnati, yes, Andy Dalton did throw 400 plus yards at Seattle, which I thought was ridiculous. But with Richard Sherman, obviously he's going to take away Tyler Boyd most likely. And I love George Kittle. I'm going to take the 49ers with you, Chase, on that one. Mm-hmm. Next game, Chargers at Lions. Not much to talk about. I'm going Chargers. Just all-around better team. Who do you like?
Yeah, me and Mike both picked the Chargers. Not much I'm going to say about this game at all. Chargers are absolutely going to win against Detroit.
Yeah. All right, so that was easy. Next game, we have Vikings at Packers. Interesting game. Obviously, Vikings-Packers divisional rivals. Do you know Kirk Cousins, week 1, he threw the ball, I think, 10 times. He was 8 of 10. That's all he had to do, and he still won, which in the NFL, are you kidding me? It just shows how bad Atlanta is right now. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyways, back on track. I'm taking Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. There's something about playing at Lambeau Field that gives them just a huge amount of energy and momentum. And it's very hard to go to Lambeau and win, especially like a divisional game. I remember last year, earlier in the year, same type of situation. Kirk Cousins goes into Lambeau, and I think it was a tie. I feel like they came back late. Yeah. I'm taking the Packers. I don't think it's going to be a tie this time. Watch out for Aaron Jones to bounce back. I'm taking the Packers. Who do you like?
Mike picked Packers. I'm picking Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah, that team was ground and pound, dude. Oh, my gosh. Let Kirk throw 10 passes last week to throw 50 this week and get the dub. I'm telling you, yeah, that team, they just got the new tight end, Irv Smith, to go along with Kyle Rudolph. You still got Diggs and Thielen. Dalvin Cook is looking like he was at FSU. It's gonna be hard to win in Lambeau. You're right, but I think they can do it.
No, it's interesting. Kirk Cousins is getting all this money yearly, and he only threw the ball 10 times. Do you think they're going to stick with the ground game and just not even care about that?
I mean, whatever wins games, you know what I mean?
It's true. It's true. Hard to see Kirk Cousins not throwing the ball more, but that's going to be a good game. Must-see TV right there. Jags, Texans. I feel like Deshaun Watson's going to get sacked another 6 times in this game.
At least Saxonville.
Yeah, I love the matchup with Ramsey against Hopkins. That's obviously a great matchup to watch. I'm taking the Texans. Just they have a lot better of a team. I just can't see the Jaguars. I mean, yes, their defense is outstanding, but it's hard to play defense when your offense is just so one-dimensional and never healthy. You don't really have a quarterback that can give you confidence and lead the team consistently down the field. I like that young kid. I feel like with Fournette, they'll be okay. Obviously, Fournette takes a hit. But yeah, I'm taking the Jaguars. I'm taking the Texans. I feel like they'll keep the Jags in check. Do you like the Texans as well?
Yeah, me and Mike both picked the Texans. Unfortunately for Jacksonville, they're looking like the Broncos the year they had Trevor Siemian starting.
True.
It's just you have such a great defense, and it's just being wasted by the offense. But, yep, sticking with Houston. almost squeaked out that win in New Orleans. What's the difference when Jacksonville's coming to you? I don't see too much.
True. All right, Patriots, Dolphins. Now, before you start talking about huge blowout, you see the Dolphins give up 59 to Lamar Jackson. I will pump the brakes there. I feel like, yes, we're playing in Miami. The Patriots have a hard time in Miami. I get that. We had the game won last year. It was just a fluke. I feel like the Patriots are 100% capable of going into Miami and winning. But people forget Brian Flores. He was a defensive mind for the Patriots. Obviously not the Belichick mind, but he was in that system. He helped out. He had some great calls. Obviously Super Bowl 49. You remember him yelling for Malcolm Butler at the goal line, bringing him in. That was historic. But I'm taking the Patriots, but I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I feel like it'll be like 27 to 7. I feel like that's a comfortable score. People forget of how bad. I mean, they don't really forget. They know. But Dolphins wide receiving core. I think it's Devontae Parker, and then the guy that works at Walmart. I don't know any of them. I couldn't tell you. Kenyon Drake, obviously, he's decent, but yeah. I'm assuming you're taking the Patriots too, right?
Are you kidding me? Of course I'm taking the fucking Patriots. Mike's got Pats win by 30. I agree with you. Not gonna be a blowout, but it's not gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be in between close and blowout. If you ask me personally, like you said, 2 touchdowns, you maybe 17 points. I don't see us running away with it. I see a nice first half lead getting, and then putting Sony Michel in there and just letting him drain out the clock.
Yep, I agree. It'll be hard to run the ball. Obviously, the Miami front has always been tough when Brady goes down there. They've always gotten to him. They've always gotten a lot of pressure. They kind of take away the run game. But I hope you're right. I hope Michelle has a good game, even though I'm playing him in fantasy. I hope he does well. Chiefs, Raiders. Now, Raiders last night, or Monday night, they looked... Josh Jacobs, I've been telling people, Josh Jacobs, if you get him in fantasy, he's a stud. He's a running back too. You benched him, I'm guessing?
I have him. Nope, played him.
Good. You got me 23 points. I don't know if you're in PPR or not. But he's a certified beauty. Love Josh Jacobs. But we're talking about Kansas City. I'm not going to pick against them back-to-back weeks. I really should have picked them week 1. I had a feeling they were going to win. Obviously, the majority of the world had a feeling they're going to win. I was trying to be bold, but I'm taking the Chiefs here. I don't care where the game's at Raiders. It's a divisional game, don't get me wrong. It'll be close. But, think of this. Patrick Mahomes and that offense versus the Raiders secondary. No thanks. I'm taking the Chiefs. Won't be a blowout. Don't get me wrong. Sammy Watkins, no Tyreek Hill. Sammy Watkins is good, but I still don't see a way the Raiders could win. Do you agree?
Mike agrees. I do not. I am taking Oakland. Very bold. This is going to be my upset of the week. If Derek Carr can do what he did last week, Josh Jacobs gets more than 75 yards. That defense still plays pretty nice. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I'm not huge on Kansas City. They're gonna crumble eventually. I just don't know when. Might as well.
I feel like if the Raiders can manage the clock and they run Jacobs, they hold on to the ball, and you get Mahomes on the field, but without Tyreek Hill because of the shoulder injury. Totally. I feel like if there's a time to win it against the Chiefs, a divisional game, it is right now.
Exactly.
Obviously, Chiefs don't really have a run game. I mean, they kind of lost that two-dimensional offense when it comes to when Kareem Hunt, obviously with his issues. Once he really left, the offense wasn't really unstoppable as it used to be.
Yep.
So yeah, I kind of agree with you. I'm still taking the Chiefs, but I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Next game, Saints at Rams. Wow, this is a great game. Saints Rams in LA this time. I wish it was in the Superdome so we can see the NFC Championship Part 2 to that, but dude, I actually don't know. I think I'm going to go with the Rams. And the reason I'm going to go to the Rams is because I feel like Cooper Kupp is going to get 150 and 2 touchdowns. I love the Rams offense. Todd Gurley, we saw the first half. You think at halftime he had 0.6 fantasy points, or it might have been 1.6 fantasy points.
He's not a fantasy player at all anymore.
But I know, but second half, dude, he got 90 yards rushing. They were running him in big time situations, like 3rd and 1s, where they needed to score because obviously the Panthers wanted to get within one possession, get a stop on defense. I'm not saying he's a good fantasy player, but I'm saying is don't sleep on the Rams offense without Gurley being the same. I'm taking the Rams. Kind of bold because the Saints have a better team, but I'm taking the Rams. Who do you like?
Mike says Saints get their revenge. I do not agree. I'm going with the Rams. Rams are at home. I mean, how good are the Panthers? I don't know yet. How good are the Texans? I don't know yet either. But I think the Rams beat the Panthers a little more soundly, let alone the fact they were away and the fact that New Orleans was home against Houston, and that New Orleans is going to Los Angeles. It just makes more sense to pick the Rams in this one, personally.
Bears Broncos. This game is in Mile High. I am taking. Dude, I actually might go the Broncos. I'm gonna go the Broncos. I feel like Joe Flacco is not going to do that well offensively. Obviously, the Bears defense is literally they look unstoppable. Besides those two like fluke passes by Rodgers, I feel like the Bears really held their own. I'm taking the Broncos, and the only reason is because I don't think Trubisky, that offense, I feel like there's something wrong there. Allen Robinson obviously looked great week 1, but honestly, 3 points, like that's, and you were at home as well. I'm taking the Broncos, Mile High. Who do you like?
Mike wrote an actual paragraph for this one. He said, Broncos, upset of the week. Broncos defend home field elevation. Trubisky struggles against old defensive coordinator Vic Fangio. I don't really agree with either one of you. I don't see how Chicago can live with themselves if they lose this one, so I think they're going to do anything they can to win. Broncos, they're just kind of that middle tier, 8-8 team right now. Maybe they'll bounce back eventually and get to 500. I just don't really see it right now. They have nothing really going for them.
Dude, they do have Von Miller, obviously Bradley Chubb.
How many sacks
Chris
they get
Harris.
yesterday, though? You know what I mean?
Dude, Trent Brown, Rodney Hudson, they're beasts. Like I predicted that game.
You're absolutely right. They're that's a pretty like thick offensive line, but I mean, Matt Nagy, I think, like I said this last week, I'm standing by. He is the best offensive coach in this league. He's gonna figure out how to tear them up.
All right. Well, I hope you're right, because Matt Nagy, 3 points. That's kind of an embarrassment at the opening game of the 100th season of the NFL. But yeah, I feel like they just didn't show up. They'll show up. They'll bounce back. Eagles Falcons, the old rematch from what was it, the divisional round a couple years ago, or was that the wild card?
Division. That was last year.
Divisional round. All right.
No.
Yeah, it was last year.
No, it wasn't 2 years ago.
2 years ago. 2 years ago. Yep. I'm taking the Eagles. I'm taking the Eagles.
It's a hard game.
Falcons. It's a hard game to pick. I know they were so evenly matched a couple of years ago when they played, and that was the game that Nick Foles threw a ball, it hit the guy's knee, it bounced up, and they caught it, and they ran. It was like before the half, and they kicked the field goal because of that. I'm taking the Eagles just because obviously very well-rounded team. They control offensive line, defensive line. They have great control of the trenches. I just feel like Carson Wentz, second half of week 1, he looked phenomenal after halftime, threw 4 touchdowns, or might have been 3 touchdowns. D-Jax looked like he never left. I'm taking the Eagles just because of how bad Atlanta looks. I picked Atlanta to win the division, so I'm hoping they wake up sometime. And they have so much talent not to, but there's something wrong with that organization. I think they're not over that Super Bowl, obviously. I feel like there's not a lot of motivations. Like, listen, we were up 25 in the Super Bowl and we couldn't get it done. Why does it matter if we even show up this week? That's the kind of, obviously it might not be that harsh, but it kind of affects you in a way, emotionally. Who do you like?
Mike picked the Eagles. I'm picking the Falcons. I mean, they're at home. This team, this fan base is hungry for a fucking win. You gotta be kidding me. Kudos to Minnesota for showing up and showing out, but the Falcons, if they lose this game, the Eagles at home against like a legit team, as what the Eagles are right now, it's not going to be looking good on Dan Quinn. It's not going to be looking good on Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan looked like a little kid out there. He looked like Jimmy Garoppolo the first half. I think Atlanta, this city, the team knows they need a win, and if they could beat Philadelphia, even though it's in Atlanta, that's a huge statement right there. That's like 5, 6, 7 spots in the power rankings. Yep.
All right, Browns Jets. This is the Monday night game. I have Baker, I have Le'Veon, both on my fantasy team, so I'm going to be watching in that sense. Not for the game as like an entertainment factor. I feel like this game's interesting. Baker Mayfield looked awful week 1. I think the Titans the secondary really just controlled the game. He doesn't really have that chemistry yet with Odell. Jarvis Landry, he's good. Obviously, they're building that chemistry. I'm taking the Browns. I feel like they'll bounce back. I think the first win that Baker Mayfield had last year was the Jets on Monday Night Football.
Yep.
So I'm taking them. Even though it's in New York. It'll be a good game. I hope Le'Veon has another good game. I just watching that game from beginning to end, I don't know how I did it. It was like pulling teeth, but it's literally, even though Sam Darnold played very bad, Le'Veon Bell just found a way to get yards. He caught a touchdown pass on a nice out route, and he had that really nice 2-point conversion where he jumped up and caught over the guy's head. I feel like if the Jets learn how to throw a screen pass to Le'Veon Bell, they would put up 30 every game. They just don't know how to do it.
Steelers did.
They're literally like, they would be setting up, would be like 3rd and short. The Bills are sending the house, and I don't know how many batted balls there were. Darnold will drop back and just throw his laser, just get batted down to the line. If they just run a screen pass and he throws the ball a touch, Le'Veon's literally walking into the end zone. I don't understand it. But yeah, I'm taking the Browns. I'm assuming you're taking the Browns too?
Yeah, Mike and I are both taking the Browns.
Yeah.
Cleveland needed what they got. It whipped them back into shape, knowing, made them see like, all right, we have the talent. It's just something's missing. I think that's what they need. They need a little ass whooping at home, make everyone question them. You know what I mean? Like, how many times has it happened in the past with just teams, just not saying just in the NFL, where they're like, we have the talent, we have everything, it's just something's missing, and all I think you need is just a good ass kicking, and that's what they got. Baker, he's like, why is everyone freaking out? Like, just wait. It's big things are coming. So I totally agree.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. Definitely like and subscribe if you enjoyed the podcast. And I will see you guys in the next podcast /Madden video. Peace out.